Thank you for being here. You know, there's nothing more important than taking part in our elections, and most particularly our county elections, local elections. Y'all being here shows that you care. I appreciate that. My name is DJ Long, and I'm running for sheriff of Carter County. I started my career in the Dallas County Sheriff, and even to use my outdoor voice, people tell me you're gonna run out the building if I do that. Okay. So I started my law enforcement career in 1988 in the Dallas County Sheriff's Department. Got out of law enforcement for 20 years. In that time, I traveled all over the North American continent. I was in the trucking industry most of that. Run a heavy haul, so you know things that weigh 300,000, 400,000 pounds. I worked from Panama to Alaska. I was a drilling superintendent and equipment manager for 2 different foundation companies. We built bridges all over God's creation, including Puerto Rico and Venezuela. I came here to Carter County, Oklahoma to be the equipment manager for a foundation drilling company. And when that job played out, I thought, Lord, what am I going to do when I grow up? So I always thought that someday maybe I'd go back into law enforcement, and that's how I ended up in the Dallas County Sheriff, in the Ardmore Police Department. I've been here since 2012. And for me personally, being in law enforcement's been the most rewarding thing I've ever done, because no other job ever gave me the opportunity to have a positive impact on so many people. I'm blessed to have been here. So I decided to run for sheriff because I'd like to continue to do that, but on a grander scale, on a greater basis. I believe there's some changes that we need to change in our sheriff's office, and I'd like to be the man to make those changes. Did I make my 2 minutes?
1 minute and 42 seconds. Good job. Thank you. So what unique skills or talents do you have that you can use to do your job as sheriff?
Y'all forgive me, I'm new to this reading glasses thing.
Welcome.
I can still see 9 miles down the road, but right here it starts getting a little bit fuzzy. So I have a great deal of life experience. I've worked with people from around the world and from all walks of life. I have a unique way of emphasizing with people and a desire to protect and serve. I've been in the workforce now for over 40 years. I know I look like a child, but in that time I've been an entrepreneur. I've learned how to run a business, learned how to manage equipment, and I think that I have an inherent sense of duty. I have a profound love for my country and its future. I fully understand that I'm only one person. I'm certainly nobody special. But to do great things, to make great accomplishments, it takes everybody's participation. And we all have a vested interest in our grandchildren and children. And there's no greater interest that you could possibly have. I know how the sheriff role is in the county, and I know how to apply that for the greater good.
Thank you. What activity or activities would you give priority to in managing the sheriff's office?
Although there are a number of things that need to be addressed, I think training is one that requires immediate attention. Well-trained personnel work at a higher level and with greater results. The citizens deserve and expect us to be well-trained. Good training keeps everyone safer. A lack of training results in hesitation and doubt, and in a volatile situation, those 2 things will get somebody hurt or killed. I know the role of the officers on the street. I've been there. I've been in those situations, and I understand. I've seen it with my own eyes. The officers that didn't know what to do, they weren't sure. And that's scary, y'all. So that and developing an atmosphere where deputies are encouraged to be proactive in circumventing crime, not discouraged from. Additionally, we've got to fix the officer or employee retention problem. An office that has 55 to 58 full-time employees has lost over 160 members in the last 7 years. That's a turnover rate of 35 to 46% annually, and that needs to be addressed.
would you recommend to improve equipment in the sheriff's office?
Radio communication. Radio communication is of the utmost importance. Currently, our deputies have handheld radios that don't work through most of the county. There's large sections of the county that they can't communicate with themselves or with dispatch, even in their in-car radios, leaving them with the only way to communicate being through cell phone service. Now, that's beyond an officer safety issue. In the event of an emergency, you could find our deputies in the county unable to communicate with anyone, and that has to be fixed. We have no computers in the cars, so in modern law enforcement, agencies have computers in your car. That's how officers find information, that's how they write reports, that's how they get everything that they need to know. If an officer or deputy, rather, takes a report anywhere in the county, he then has to drive all the way back to Ardmore to the office to write the report. That's not efficient and it's certainly costly. But it also takes that deputy off the road for all of that time that he is doing that. If he's out in the county and able to write that report from his vehicle, he can be parked in the Fox School parking lot. And he's available if a call for service were to come out.
Thank you. What programs would you like to see given additional support in the sheriff's office?
Well, folks, you know, each one of us as a law enforcement officer, you took an oath to uphold the Constitution and the laws of your jurisdiction on behalf of the people. And if you're not working with every agency in the county to do the very best you can to work together on behalf of the people, then you're not doing your due justice. We need to work with each other, and I've gone to every agency in the county, sat down with every one of them and talked to them about us working together as a team, as a unit. Not just working together, but training together. This would increase the quality of the training, and it would increase the frequency of the training. And it would help to create and foster relationships between deputies and officers from different jurisdictions. In the event that they have to work together, you're on a domestic together, and you've trained together and you have a rapport with one another, it's much safer for everybody involved. You're going to have a far better outcome to the problem. Community outreach programs where the community wants to be involved. Look at you here today. I know that you want to be involved, you want to help, but there's no way for you to communicate or feel like you're being heard, and that needs to be addressed. And lastly, the long-term goal, and I may not accomplish this in my time in office, but I would like for the sheriff's office to have an SRO program so that we have a deputy in every school in the county. Now, I've talked to superintendents and other agencies to see how they've implemented this program, steps that we can take to start that, done all the research to get us in the right direction. And though I may not be able to accomplish it in my time, at least we can lay the foundation for the next person that comes along to finish that up.
Thank you. Last question. Have you examined the current year's budget, and what changes would you recommend, if any?
Ma'am, I have studied the budget. I've studied the last 3 years' worth of budgets. I've studied it. I've had 3 other people study it. I've gone to the county clerk's office, been to the treasurer's office, and with all of the information that I have been able to retrieve, there is not anyone that can give a definitive answer on where there are surpluses or where there are deficits in the budget. And because of that, I don't have enough transparency to have any recommendation.